fresh produce on campus. Spooky season is finally over. Rowan University goes purple. All that and more on this half hour of RTN News. Welcome back to a brand new episode of RTN News. I'm Victoria Todorova.
And I'm Nate Aquino, and here are today's local news.
Rowan University students braved the cold once again. Philip Bunnins came to Rowan to bring fresh produce to those in need. The event was filled with lots of people and music. Many students lended a helping hand by delivering fresh food to Glassboro families.
A candlelit vigil was held for the lives that were lost from the Tree of Life synagogue shooting that took place on October 27 that killed 11 people. Shabbat, Hillel, and Alpha Epsilon Pi put together the Stronger Than Hate candlelit vigil to spread awareness and support in wake of the tragedy. This event was a good way for those of the community to show their support after this tragedy.
Spooky season has finally ended here at Rowan University. It was a month-long celebration filled with many events. Rowan After Hours gave students the opportunity to experience many fall festivities right here at our own student center. Students also had the chance to give back by helping out at the Haunted Student Center and welcoming trick-or-treaters. The final Spooky season event was held on Saturday night, and it was the Zombie World Mystery Dinner.
If you are a student here at Rowan University, there are times where you feel stressed and overwhelmed with midterms and other exams. Psych Alliance, a psychology club here at Rowan University that promotes knowledge on mental health disorders, recently held a paint and cider event that allows students to be de-stressed and learn coping methods to relieve stress from midterms and other exams. The event was a great turnout and taught those who attended the event about how to deal with stress.
Coming up, we will dive into events happening on Rowan's campus this week. Don't go away.
They told me a bottle couldn't dream, that I would never become a superhero. But I learned how to fly, just to come back in a new disguise and be the hero that I've always wanted to be.
What do you think it would be like to teach? Chances are, you have no idea. Teachers today are breaking down obstacles, finding innovative ways to instill old lessons, proving that greatness can be found in everyday places, and that you don't need to be famous to be unforgettable. That's what it's like to teach.
Welcome back to RTN News. Here's Kristen with this week's entertainment.
Thank you, Victoria. This Friday, Rowan's Department of Theater and Dance will be hosting a performance called The Cabaret. The performance is a 1960s themed show performed by a 10-person cast called X, named after the female chromosome. They will feature 4 movements, including love, drugs, war, and female empowerment. X will also perform music made by famous artists such as the Beatles, James Brown, Janis Joplin, and many more. The show begins at 8 p.m. at the Lab Theater in Bunce Hall, and tickets are $10 at the door. The Department of Music and Rowan String Program welcome Hal Grossman. He is a renowned violinist who will be at Boyd Recital Hall on November 12th from 8 to 9 p.m. He has performed all around the world with orchestras and is an award-winning performer, educator, and concert master. Admission is free and open to the public. Jahan Liu, a graduate of Rowan's Department of Music, is an award-winning pianist who has appeared at festivals and in concert venues around the country. She returns to campus on November 9th, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. for a solo recital featuring works by Bach, Beethoven, and Brahms, an exploration of German school composers in the Baroque, classical, and Romantic periods. Admissions is free and open to the public.
Kristen, I'm not gonna lie, cabaret sounds actually pretty interesting.
Yeah, I like that. Like, I love the Beatles and old music like that, so it definitely sounds interesting. Yeah,
I might honestly go check that out. Cabaret.
Yeah.
Check it out. Sounds like a good time.
Yeah. Coming up, more local news. Don't go away.
Open up your books to page 360.
Did you just look at your phone while you was in class? You played yourself.
Talking about inspirational quotes.
You gotta believe in yourself. Don't ever play yourself. The key is to make it, so make it.
Louise, can you give me an example of an inspirational quote?
Don't play yourself. The key is to make it.
And who said that?
I did. Now that's a major key alert.
Learn the real major keys to getting to college at getschool.com.
Got a quarter?
Welcome back to RTN News. Here's more from your local area.
This past Saturday, Rowan University was recognized as a National Special Olympics Unified Champion School. This event brought ESPN out to recognize Rowan Unified Sports as one of the most elite and successful unified sports program in the nation. ESPN anchor and reporter Michelle Steele came out to recognize Rowan with a big banner. The Unified Sports Program is a great program where Special Olympic athletes with intellectual disabilities and Rowan students play side by side and compete and play soccer in the fall and basketball in the spring. The event was a great turnout, and the numbers of new members joining the Unified Sports keeps on growing.
Profs go purple. Rowan University goes purple for domestic violence victims. The university's Office of Social Justice has provided voice for those who have been impacted. Purple t-shirts have been displayed outside on a clothing line with inspirational messages to uplift students. This is known as the Clothesline Project, and their mission is to spread awareness about domestic violence. Coming up, your national news. Welcome back. Here is Frank with your national news.
Thanks, Victoria. 3 Girl Scouts and their chaperone were murdered Saturday morning while they were cleaning the roads near Lake Haley, Wisconsin. They were run over by an intoxicated 21-year-old driver who fled the scene but later surrendered to the police. Police said that he was inhaling cleaning fluid before the crash and that all the victims were wearing high visibility vests. Fellow Girl Scouts mourned the loss and held vigils to pay respects to the victims. CEO Sylvia Acevedo of Girl Scouts of the USA said, quote, "Our hearts are broken for the girls and families of the Girl Scouts of the Northwestern Great Lakes," end quote. The principal of a high school in Snellville, Georgia, apologized after several members of the marching band spelled a racial slur during a recent performance. Principal Ford apologized through a letter and called the actions, quote, "hurtful, disrespectful, and disappointing," end quote, and added that 3 senior band members, 1 junior band member, and 2 other students will be disciplined as a result of the incident. A man in Florida fought an active gunman that killed 2 people in a yoga studio. Joshua Quick, The man that took the action grabbed a vacuum cleaner and hit the gunman in the head, allowing all other people to escape from the danger. Joshua told Good Morning America, quote, "The gun stopped firing. I don't know if it jammed or what. I used the opportunity to hit him over the head with the vacuum." End quote. The gunman then hit Quick in the head, but he jumped back as quickly as he could and hit him again with a broomstick. The shooter then shot himself. Police are still trying to determine a motive for the shooting, but investigators say that the gunman had no prior connection to the yoga class and lived 250 miles away.
Wow, that's crazy.
Pretty rough week.
This is a lot to take in.
Yeah, it's a pretty rough week. I feel like a lot of the national news are pretty sad, but like this is the moment where we can actually focus on a guy that did something good and that saved the life for some people.
Yeah, there you go.
So that's the takeaway. Always help out on the Girl Scouts, on the girls that are paying their respects, and on the guy that did something good for people.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, so focus on the good.
Always a positive somewhere in there.
There you go.
All right, coming up, your weekly sports update.
If you drive buzzed, it could cost you around $10,000. You'll face major legal fees, major fines, and steep insurance penalties. You could lose everything. Buzzed, busted, and broke, because buzz driving is drunk driving.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
And here is Mike with your Rowan sports update.
Thanks, Victoria. It's been a pretty tough week for Rowan sports. The men's soccer team came up short in the NJAC semifinals, losing to Montclair 3-4. The Brown and Gold showed high aggression in their attacks but couldn't seem to find the back of the net. Eventually, the Redhawks would have a 4-1 lead on Rowan, but Rowan managed to cut the deficit by scoring 2. Rowan almost tied it up in the final shot, but Kevin Pereira was blocked by the goalie, denying Rowan the comeback. The Profs end their season 12-7. The women's soccer team also had a tough loss in the NJAC after a 1-0 loss to TCNJ. The game was hard fought by both sides, and it looked like it was going to go into penalty kicks. However, with only 2 minutes left in overtime, TCNJ midfielder Taylor Nolan scored a header to put her side in front for the rest of the game. In the end, Rowan tallied 11 shots while TCNJ had 16. The Profs end their season 12-2-3. In lighter news, Rowan's field hockey team beat TCNJ 2-0 for the NJAC title. The Profs' road to victory started when midfielder Molly Gorseska scored the first goal in the 15th minute. From there, TCNJ almost tied the game up, but Rachel Gallant would pick up a loose ball and whip it into the back of the net for the second and final goal. With this win, Rowan end the season by claiming their 7th NJAC championship since 2009 and remain unbeaten this season with 20 wins and no losses.
All right, Mike, can we talk about 22 wins, 0 losses?
It's 20
Are you
wins,
kidding?
but
20 wins? Oh my! Still, that's still a lot of wins.
I mean, you just can't write stories like this.
You can't write stories like this. Like,
you just can't. I mean, an undefeated season. That's like
that's a big
crazy.
Since 2009, is that what I?
Yeah.
Wow.
Amazing.
But it's just, we lost in soccer a little bit, but I think we'll recover for next season.
Oh, we'll get them back.
We're
going to
get some good talent definitely from the freshmen, and also like returning players are going to be doing amazing. I've seen some of the games. I think the men's are going to be solid, or the men's team is going to be very solid next season. So watch out for them definitely.
Well, yeah, we'll get them next year. And yeah,
it happens.
Go Profs.
Go
Profs.
Yeah. And that's all for this week's edition of RTN News. I'm Victoria Todorova.
And I'm Nate Aquino. Stay tuned for next week's show. Have a good day, everyone.